If you're posting business content to your Facebook page and finding that nobody seems to even notice that you exist, then you're not alone, my friend. Today we're talking about whether using Facebook still is a great strategy this year or whether Facebook is dead. Let's get right into it. If you're new here, my name is Liz. I help business owners use digital media to build their business faster. Be sure to subscribe so that you never miss my future content. Now, I know that Facebook and social media in general can be a real point of angst for many business owners. It's really hard to know what's working this year, what's working this month, what not to do anymore, what to try. There's always so many changes and so much new information out there. However, I am always a big believer that considering what a great free tool social media can be, that every business owner should learn how to use it properly. There should be at least one or two platforms that every business is actively on, putting out content and trying to connect with their audience. Today we're talking about Facebook and whether Facebook is still a great place for businesses to be. A lot has changed with Meta over the last couple of years. If you have a Facebook page or a group, then you probably know that nowadays it's actually harder than ever to get any eyeballs on your content. So today we're talking through what exactly is going on and whether it still remains a great place for you to promote your work. Let's get right into it. Now, the first thing to do is to have a reality check about Facebook's organic reach. Nowadays, only 2 to 5% of organic posts, meaning posts that have not had any paid promotion put behind them, are being seen by audiences. So that means if you have 1,000 followers, only 20 to 50 of them are actually going to see your content. Now, it's not because Facebook is trying to be mean, it's just basic economics. There are so many billions of posts being uploaded and everything is competing for everyone's attention. So Facebook has to prioritize where all of these things are going and who is seeing what. So of course, it makes sense, because Facebook is a business after all, that they will prioritize all of the posts that have paid advertising behind them. They're going to show that to people more and give that more priority. Then they will prioritize the posts that have high engagement or the posts that are keeping people watching or hanging out there longer. So that means the old days of just posting a static little photo or a static little graphic that you made in Canva those days are gone. Those days are long gone, because that will get buried. That type of post doesn't keep people hanging around for too long, because it only takes half a second to look at that type of content. It sometimes doesn't create a lot of engagement. I agree that your friends and family might enjoy seeing that photo, but it doesn't mean that everyone is going to sit there and start sharing it along. It'll just garner a smile from whoever sees it, and then that person is just going to keep scrolling. And there's no paid advertising behind it. So those type of posts are going to start getting buried. So if you're planning to use Facebook for your business, you have to find ways to either set aside a budget for paid advertising of your posts or have more creative and engaging posts, things that are shareable, things that really elicit some type of comment or response from your audience or get some type of conversation going. Maybe something a little bit more controversial in nature. Things like that will have people stay around a little bit longer, and long form content, of course, is going to help you as well with that. The second thing to consider is that the algorithm is always moving, and it is a very, very tricky place to be. You might notice when you scroll on Facebook that the feeds nowadays are full of everything in the world. There's some boosted posts, there's paid posts, there's other sponsored things, there's normal posts from your friends and family, there's other random posts from groups that you've never even thought about. So the algorithm is always at work and trying to put things in front of people, hoping that something will click here and there. Now, I always think of this funny example with myself. Now, I'm a person who does not do any gardening. It's not a hobby that I've ever had. I have no idea how to do gardening, and I don't own a garden. So it makes sense that I'm not really following any gardening pages or groups that have anything to do with that topic. However, that doesn't mean that if I see a video of a beautiful garden on Facebook that I don't stop and just watch it for a second. That might happen naturally. So recently I did stop and just click on this video that this woman had of, how she was pruning some roses. And it was just the colorful nature of the video that I liked. So I did stop there and watch it for a couple seconds, despite the fact that I'm not a gardener myself. And I'm telling you, from the next day, my Facebook feed was littered with gardens. It's all I saw. So within that split second, Facebook understood that I must love that topic. And now it's trying to show me everything, hoping that I want to see some more of that. So this is sometimes the way that the algorithm works. So that means your feed might be full of all sorts of things that you had a momentary interest in for a split second. And similarly, your audience is also experiencing that. So if you are not putting out engaging content that they are going to stop and look at least for a couple seconds, then the rest of your content is never going to show up in front of them. It's not going to get classified by Facebook's algorithm as content that is actually of interest to the people in your market. So you really have to work harder to create the content that stops that scroll. And the old days of having a one-page promotional PDF or JPEG that just has some graphics on it, they're long gone. Another thing to keep in mind is that Facebook pages are kind of slowing down, but Facebook groups remain the place to be. And that is simply because humanity is fed up of being sold to and seeing promotional stuff every time they open up social media. So a lot of the Facebook pages are just kind of talking about the work that they do. Obviously, that's what a Facebook business page would do. But not everybody really cares anymore what everyone else's business is doing. And so because of that, people are gravitating more towards Facebook groups. Facebook groups were always a big thing, but they've become even more so because that is a place where a certain niche of people, all like-minded people, are all in that group. They're not there to be sold to. Instead, they're there to all think about that same topic. They can ask questions, interact with each other, get feedback, get help, and get a little bit of education, maybe some entertainment, all of that stuff. But it's all on a topic that they have chosen that they are interested in. So this is why a Facebook group is still a great place to be and a great thing to think about. For me, I have a Facebook page, but I never even post on it anymore because I know there's no point. Unless I'm specifically going to try to put some paid advertising behind something, I know that there's not a lot of value there. On the other hand, Instagram groups and other like WhatsApp groups, smaller little communities like that where you can actually interact with interested parties, that is a place that is really, really growing. So you should also consider adding that into your portfolio. Now, one thing is certain, Facebook's ad platform is still unmatched. There is no giant in the world that manages ads the way that Facebook does. And that's because they've been gathering this data for a long time. They've been fine-tuning that process on their end for a long time. So it's really quite a beast. So if you are going to put paid ads behind something, Facebook ads are still a great place to consider investing. However, remember when you do that, you are still doing that in a very, very noisy place. Your ad is going up against all the other ads. Everything nowadays are ads because businesses have figured this out a while ago. Free content is not really getting shown anymore. So everything that is out there is an ad. So if you are going to put money behind ads, how are you going to make yours stand out? Video content is still number one. This is why I go on and on about video all the time. If you're going to make an ad, make it a little bit lengthy, make it catchy and compelling, make it clear for your audience so that within the first few seconds, they know that they are the person that this ad is meant for, and find a different way to present it. Just generic talking head style videos aren't going to do as well anymore. That's already been seen all over the internet. Now people want something that looks a little bit more entertaining. This can be scary for those introverted business owners who feel like they just don't have it within them to be so exciting on video. But this does require a little bit of creativity, and maybe you can hire somebody to help you with that or help with the editing just to make it a little bit better. Now, all of this is just to say that Facebook is not dead. Facebook is still absolutely thriving. However, you have to make a hard decision as to whether it's still the place for you. Do you still think that Facebook is the place where you are actually getting leads, getting traffic? Are you converting people from there? Or are you simply posting there because you feel like you need to and everyone else is, and you've just gotten into that habit? Have a good look at where you are actually getting your traffic from. I know that for me, YouTube long form videos as well as Instagram stories are the two places where I see the most success. Those are the places where my target market is hanging out and they watch my content and then they reach out to inquire about my services. So for you, you need to know where all of your traffic and your interested people are. There's not a lot of value in focusing all of your attention on one platform if you don't have the data to support that that platform is actually working for you. So if you are still having success with Facebook pages, or you want to try opening a Facebook group and see how that goes, then do that. See what type of success you have. If you feel like you're just getting buried and you're not getting enough traction or momentum, then consider adding on at least another long form content platform or something where you can post shorter snippets like tweets, for example, Twitter, X, whatever it's called now. So don't ever put your eggs all in one basket when it comes to social media. You need to be on different platforms, showcasing your work in different places. LinkedIn is always going to be a great place for business owners, especially if you want to sell your services to other business owners, B2B. Don't forget about places like that. They don't come off as flashy as YouTube and Instagram and TikTok, but serious buyers are still there, so it's not a thing that you want to ignore. So if you liked today's video, I hope that you will give it a like, share it off with one of your friends. Don't forget to subscribe, because every single Tuesday, I bring you a new video teaching you how you can use digital media to build your business faster. So until next time, take care.